Hey guys, back again. I just took a little break. So now we're going to continue with the rest. So um yeah, we need to go. We already have everything that we need here inside the web PHP. And let's go back to the controllers on app HTTP controllers and the controller we have, which is called posts. So we need to do the next today right now what we're going to do is say public function and to set or create a form. Remember that we already have something, okay, inside your route list that is called create. So let's say return view create. We don't have this one yet, but what we're going to do here is that or what is going to happen is that the create is only going to return the view. Okay, we're not going to store anything, so we need to set a new function later in order to store the data, which is going to happen, I think, in this video. But let's actually go to views. We have okay, and inside views we're going to add a new file, which is create.blade.php. Nice. So just let me get there. Okay, create.blade.php. Okay, I was already there. So we need to do the same thing that we did in the index. Extends layouts app and section content. We need to add the parent and say stop with an @ symbol. Okay, so here we're going to have a section. Okay, but we need to install something. Forgot about that section. So let's just save this and let's say something like create works. Boop, boop. Okay, okay. Let's keep that, and this should be already refreshed. So let's say create post, and we have the create works. So it's checking for the post create, which is a route that we already have using the resources inside our web.php file. Now let's just go back, not there but here, and we need to create a form inside the create blade.php, but for that we need something, okay, that allows us to create it in a simpler way. So we are also done with PHP my admin with MySQL. Okay, is connected, so every time you come back to this application you will need to run WAMP, because that is your database, that is where your database is stored, and that opens the connection in order to use the MySQL. So Laravel collective.com, we're going to close this, and as I remember we need to do something with the just I'm checking my okay, I already have the view, so we need to say, let me go to, no, it's not, it's this one. Okay, let's click here. Okay, I think it was, sorry, docs HTML, forms and HTML. So we need to say composer require Laravel collective /HTML. So we need to actually install that. And what we need to do here is they tell us, or we don't need to do it. Okay, we can also use CSRF tokens. Okay, so edit your projects. Okay, so that should be it. So let's just test it. Okay, it's updating, it's installing. Well, this will take a little bit. Okay, So, well, let me just show you this. In order to open a form, we're going to use this syntax and of course use it as a closing tag also. So we use form open and we give the settings. So if you hear the shouting there, selling agua, that's pretty common here in Mexico. They sell you the water, the bottled water with I think it's 20 liters bottle. So yeah, that's pretty common here. So sorry, they go on the street yelling. So yeah, and we add anything we want, the labels and all that inside the forms. Okay, so that is how we're going to structure this form because it's going to allow us to set everything easier. I in fact did well. I think I have a Ruby on Rails on my channel, and it's something similar to what we could do if we didn't use the Laravel collective. So let's just check this. Okay, it's already set. PHP artisan. I already have that. Okay, PHP artisan serve. So let's wait for that. It starts actually pretty fast, and it didn't say that we need to add it. So let's actually start working with that. So I'm just going to copy the first thing that we need, that is this div class first row, and the section is going to have a class of flex. So we're not using Bootstrap, okay, so these are not Bootstrap classes. And the div, which is second row, and inside here let's just add the open. Okay, I'm just going to add this, and because it's quite a ton that we need to add here, just for you to see what is the structure that you're going to follow. So let's take a look at this. We have the open and close. Okay, so you can see we are using the syntax that they show to us. Now here inside the action you can see that this is a full bracket. So we're going to use this action. So this is the action that is going to run. We're going to use the post at store function inside our controller to handle the inputs. Okay, so is well, we will use PHP later in the channel, just plain PHP, and you will see how this works. But inside a form you have the action which tells the browser where to send the information. So we're going to send the information to post at store using what method? The method post, and end type, because we're going to handle files, is going to be multi-part from data. Let's actually grab one of these form groups. As I said before, this is not a class. I think there's a class on Bootstrap that is called form group, but let's not worry about that now. So what is happening here? In order to use a label, we use this syntax form. Well, these two curly braces, form column label, the name of the label that we're going to use, and this is the placeholder. So, or not, sorry, not a placeholder, but what is going to be the inner HTML of that label. Now we do the same with this form, that text, which is actually an input type text with the name of title. Here we don't have any value that we are going to show, but we will show this later when we update the values. And this placeholder, which is, this is the post title. Okay, let's save this and let's see if it works. you can see what we get. So let's inspect this, and you can see we have the method post action http localhost 8000 post accept charge set, okay, and type multiple for data. We have the input, and they have a token. So okay, so this is the token that we need, but this is going to be handled by the form, and the div class form group, which is a post title, and this is the post title and all that. Okay, so we're going to follow that same structure. So as I said, it's kind of weird, but it's not complicated once you know what you need to do. Of course, like everything. But the only difference between those two is that this is only to open and this is to close, and you remove the two exclamation marks or exclamation points, and just do so saying form label and form text to add the label or the input. But of course you might be saying, okay, so this form text is the input type text. What we need to do for the other ones? Okay, we just need to call them. Let's say you can see we have this form label, the name is content, and the post content is the inner HTML. The text area, so this is a text area, is going to have the name content, no value by default, and the placeholder, and we do so with the div just okay, with the form file, which is the input type file. The name is cover. We don't have a placeholder there, and we don't have a default value, and that is so. So let's check it out, and you can see this is our form. So this is actually simpler in order to handle the what we need to do here with the action. So let's actually go back to post. I have it open, so and you can see that since we have the navigation in the layout, we can see the navigation here too. So what else we need to do? Let's just close this for now, and also the index, which is going to be the next video. So create blade. Okay, we have everything that we need here, and let's just add the function that is going to take all the information. So let's say public function store. Let me just go, okay. And this is going to be quite, well, not that lengthy, but yeah. This is going to handle the information that is sent from the form, okay. So let's say validate, okay, but we need a request, so we're going to say request, and the not the ID, sorry, the property is going to the parameter is going to be a request, so we can access that request. So we pass the request, and we pass what we need to do, what we need to check. Title needs to be required, or is required, so it needs to be there inside the request. Content, it also is going to be required, so it's going to check for that. And the cover also is going to be required, but since this is a file, we need to add some other things. So it's going to be an image, it's going to check for that, and it's going to be maximum. So let's give it a for 999, which is a 5 megs. So let's just add a semicolon there, because he could complain about that. And I'm a little so Okay, so we need to handle the files here. Let's just add a comment here for you to check, validate, and let's actually start typing all this. Yep, original file equals the request. So we need to get the file, and we use this syntax request file cover. So as I said, it's going to validate first. If it doesn't validate, then we're not going to move to the next step, okay? And for the file, we need to get the client original name. This is a method, so we get the name of that file. Now file name is going to be equal to path info, so we have that function there, and original file path info, path underscore info. No, sorry, path info file name. So we get the file name of that. So we need the file extension. So we're going to use request file cover and get client original extension. Original extension, and this is a method, so we get that. So far we have the original name, the path of the file, and extension. So we're going to proceed now to rename the file in order to store it. Equals file name that we're going to use a dash there, that time. Remember that with PHP, that is concatenation, so we're going to concatenate the name, the dash, the timestamp, the current time, and the so we need to add a period there in order to add the file extension, and that is so. So we require the path now on which we're going to store it. So we have a default path, and let's say request, no, it's request file cover that, no, is store as public. So this is going to go there inside the public, and covers, which is a folder that should be created, and the rename file is the file as it's going to be called when it's inside that folder. Now, so this is all the handle file in order to store it. Okay, so we go down here, and let's now create the new post. Okay, create the new post. Now what we need to do first, scroll down a little bit and say post equals new post. We have this because we actually already have the post there, the model. So if you have worked with MongoDB, it's something similar to that. Post title, and this is how we're going to set the specific properties of this new post using the name of the post or the variable $post, and followed by this arrow and title, which is going to say post property, which in this case is title. So we're going to say request, and at this point everything is already validated, and we just set the name. Remember that the name that we're going to use is the name that we add here. Okay, So that is the name that we need to add. Post. So we have the content request input is content. I'm getting hungry. Post. This is just a similar thing. Cover. This is the cover, and we're going to use, instead of any input, we're just going to say the rename file. Okay, so that is going to set the properties for the posts which are going to be stored inside the database. This is not the file, this is the name of the file, okay? And where the file is going to be located. We're going to see that. So far, let's save the data. Post, save, and we're going to return a redirect to the main route. Okay, so this should work. So let's say let's add some comments here. Index route, create route, and handle create action post, and just like that. Okay, so let's save this one, and let's actually do I have that? Okay, it's running. So let's see what happens. Let's refresh, and let's say first post. Let's go to lorem ipsum, just to add some text to that. Generate lorem ipsum, we get the first paragraph, and we choose a new file. So let's choose here, and okay, seems I missed something, which is in fact the input submit. So let me just get this thing, create blade. Okay, I always forget that. I don't know why. So let me just grab this. Okay, so this is what we need to change. I think because I was explaining, I forgot that. Well, but so the fault is yours. So let's say create post. Okay, so this is the form submit. We need a submit in order to submit the form, and this is what the what is going to display, and just that. Okay, you can see create post. So let's say first post, and let's copy this again, paste it, choose file, let's choose here again, and create post. Okay, seems I forgot something, which says function store request. This get validation factory. So it's a step error argument one pass two. Must be an instance of request. So what did I do wrong here? So we have the request, this validate, title, content, and cover, require image max. So this is what it seems to be complaining. So let me just go back there. Array given. It says must be an instance of illuminate HTTP request array given. Okay. So public function store request rec. So what is this actually? Let me just check the create blade to see if, because I actually copied this one, so that shouldn't be a problem. Post store method post. Let's actually try again. Maybe there's something wrong. Post create, whatever. We paste that, we choose file, we set here, we say post. Okay, so this is the same error. Request. I have the request already. So maybe I screwed the, just let me check. Posts. Function, public function store. So this is something that request cover. So it's saving. No, it's not even saving that. So it's not going through. Well, I'm not sure what I did wrong. This validate. Oh, I know. Sorry about this. The thing is that I set an array because I forgot to well, yeah, it's not an array, so it was wrapping that inside an array, so you need to remove that and just say request, and this is actually the array that we want to pass. So I was like, what the hell, but I didn't realize that. And what I was going to do, because I had that and I split it without noticing, but I was going to add a comma and say what we have below the request, and then add inside this array what we have here, but I forgot. Okay, I got distracted, and that is your fault. No, sorry about that. So let's just check it. Okay, let's see. You can see we have these covers, okay, inside the block YouTube storage app public, and we have one image. So let's actually see if this went through, even though HTTP, even though we refresh, but sometimes, well, most of the times, if you refresh, it sends again the data. So it's localhost php my admin. Okay, yeah, I need to log in back again. So don't posts. We have the ID one created at title content lorem ipsum, and the cover. This is the name of the cover. Let's create another one. Let's say let's actually say first, well, second post. Some lorem ipsum there. Choose file. Let's grab here. Create post. And we get redirected. And if we refresh this, we get second post as a title, cover that, and inside the storage app we get this. Okay, so far so good. Now we have the ability to create new posts, but of course we cannot see that, and this is because we have an image there that is not actually there. So of course we need to add again, we need to add the CSS, but we will do that in the next video. So see you in the next one.